Hey wood finishers, welcome to the conversation about French polishing. First things first, we need to start talking about the things that we need to apply the finish. So I've got cotton rags. This is old t-shirt material here. I've got that. I've got linen, which seems to be preferred for creating the pad. And then I also have some cheesecloth here. And so this is the part where conversations get a little bit territorial and mostly religious about which is the right stuff, which is the wrong stuff. So we need to create a pad for applying the shellac to our board. And what we need to do is create some material that will hold the shellac. So I've got this in a container here, which is easy to charge the pad. So I need to get some material that holds the material well. It's easy to squeeze and start to distribute, and also holds a good amount of material. So linen is probably going to be the worst of those options, but it does function as the best, I would say, for making contact with the board or the material that we're going to be applying finish to. So what goes on in the inside of this? This cotton material is good, and you can wad up a bunch of this, charge this with shellac, and then it's probably okay. I found that it gets a little bit stiff, a little bit sticky, and it doesn't really absorb as much as something like this cheesecloth would. So what I like to do for making a pad is cut off a good chunk of this linen material, cheesecloth on the inside, and then at this point I want to start to kind of fold these corners over and pack all of this material in place, give it a little bit of a twist, and make it fairly tight so that as I'm applying this to the surface, it's not going to bunch up, there's not going to be a wrinkle that's formed here, or if there's a loose part over time, this is just going to start to stick on the finish, and it's going to start to work itself loose. So large enough size of cheesecloth and linen, and that's kind of what we do. Okay, so doing this for real. There's no real wrong way to do this. So I've labeled my shellac because there's a shelf life. It's about 6 months that I have to work with this material. Sometimes more, but 6 months is about right. All right, so I'm giving it a hefty drink there, and that should start to allow you to do this stuff. The other container I have is alcohol, and then lastly I have a little bit of mineral oil. And so you can see that the color changing here. I dripped a little bit of this shellac out, but what I want to do is have enough product in here as I start to squeeze, get a little bit of this material to come out. I could reabsorb this into this pad, but this allows us to start to lay down the finish. Keeping this nice and tight the whole time is going to be critical. If it starts to get loose and like I said, wrinkles or folds coming out of your hand anyway, that's where it starts to get kind of nasty. And so anyway, that's how I make this pad. I will do the next video as far as how to apply the finish.